Hi, my name is Dr. Cassie from Children's Therapy Network. In this final video series of how to use Adobe Signatures, I'm going to show you how to use Adobe Acrobat Pro desktop app to convert multiple individual files into one large combined PDF, what Adobe calls a binder. This method is ideal when working with multiple files too large for the web version. You want to organize all your content into one file for cleaner presentation, or sending large multiple page onboarding packages, evaluations, or image-rich documents. While there is a file size limit to Adobe Pro, using the desktop version does give you more flexibility options than the web version. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open Desktop app. If it lands on the home page, it may look like my screen. If you already have a PDF open, it may look like this, and the tools are to the side. Navigate to the tools from the home page or the sidebar. Select all tools. At this point, you want to find Create a PDF. You're going to open Create PDF. At this point, it is going to ask you if you want to do a single file or multiple files. In this video, we are selecting multiple files. Now, we are going to select Combine Files. You hit Next. Add your files. In a previous video, I showed you how to download files from Google Drive or OneDrive. These files are saved on my desktop for easy access. I'm going to select all of these files and hit Open. Once things are added, you're going to see all your documents here. Give it some time to demonstrate a thumbnail, which indicates the file has been uploaded. Once all the files have a thumbnail, select Documents to combine into one binder. Once you have the files that you want, you hit the button that says Combine. You're going to get a conversion bar down here at the bottom. Give Adobe time to work. Once Adobe has finished converting your files to a PDF and have combined them, you will see Binder at the top. It will open a tab that says your binder. You want to make sure that you save this binder, especially if this is something that you use frequently. If this is a one-time deal, you can go ahead and request e-signatures the same way as I've shown in the other videos. But in this case, we are going to save this binder so that we can reuse it. Name it Test Binder. I'm going to save it to my desktop, but you can save it wherever you're not going to lose it. So once you have done that, you want to start preparing this form for signatures. You go to Tools, select Prepare Form. Adobe will ask, does this require signatures? And the answer is yes. You want to make sure that you click that button. Now, at this point, we hit Create Form. It will give you its progress bar. When the document has been finalized, it will open up a document that gives you essentially the chapters and where it thinks signatures or dates belong. Heads up, Adobe likes to put signature or some sort of field on any line it finds. If your document uses lines for formatting or section breaks, It may mistake those. Review the auto-detected fields carefully. Think of Adobe as your assistant, not your boss. Add your own signatures, date, or checkbox fields manually from the right panel. It thinks this is a space to add a signature field. To remove them, click and remove the field. Signed by the employee? Yes, that's a signature field. Date? Yes, a date field. Leave it there. Right now, we are just preparing the document that we can use repeatedly. Okay? So let's say you are all done. You have prepared your document with the appropriate fields. Now you need to add signers. Once you're ready to add signers, you click Request Signatures. Adobe is going to create the form, and it's going to open up a new window where you put the recipient's email. Use Jane Doe again. You know, I wonder if there really is a Jane Doe that lives out there. Could you imagine if your name was Jane or John Doe? Whee. Anyways, we've got our 2 recipients. You can add more if you want, but we're going to use this. Because Adobe does not know where you want Jane to sign and where you want John to sign, you will still need to specify where you want them to sign. So you specify where to sign. It will open up your document. The signature fields are filled out assuming Jane is signing. To change the signer, go to the sidebar and identify who's signing. We want John to sign some documents, so I double-clicked. This says Jane Doe. I want John Doe to sign this. Up here says Jane Doe. We can do the same thing we did in the last videos and identify who's signing what. Once you have prepared your document for signatures, you hit send. I'm not sending it because maybe there is a Jane or a John Doe out there, or someone took the email address because they think it's fun, and I don't want them to get my policies. Now, as I said earlier, if this is a document that is going to be used repeatedly, you don't want to go and have to prepare this document all over again. Before you assign signatures, save as a template. So we're going to reset these fields because I already assigned them as recipients, but you want to save as a template. So the button at the bottom right before you hit send is Save as Template. I hope that this has been helpful, and thank you for joining me for my 3-part series of Adobe signatures. If this has helped, click like, subscribe, and check out the rest of my Children's Therapy Network YouTube playlist with lots of tips and tricks for both parents and professionals. Look, we are learning and growing and apparently becoming YouTubers at the age of 50. Who knew? Anything's possible. Check me out in my next video.